I'm Jim Lederer, and I am an Executive Vice President and General Manager of Qualcomm CDMA Technologies, #1 wireless company in the world. My experience at UB had a tremendous impact on my career, particularly my graduate level studies. As an undergrad, it was you're much more focused on getting grades, checking the box on hitting all the right classes, the social aspects of the college experience, and growing into adulthood. But when I went back for my graduate degree, it was really much more about content. It was much more about learning. It was engaging with the professors, engaging with the community, engaging with the fellow classmates, and it was really about driving and learning the content, the material, and applying it in the real world. I recently re-engaged with the university last year, about 18 months ago, and it was a phone call I received from the development office. It's in an early morning out in San Diego, and I actually answered my phone, and it was John Preisner, and he was telling me that they were coming out to California. They wanted to visit some alums, and at that moment I had been thinking actually how to give back and how to start to get engaged. I have fond memories of UB, and I'd really like to ensure that it stays relevant and it's continued on focusing on moving the ball forward at the School of Management. And I think that bringing some geographic and some industry diversity to the advisory council will bring a different perspective and will help to make sure that that we're achieving that goal of being current and being relevant as we move forward. Global competition is a reality of this decade and this century, and we have to absolutely embrace it and extend our business models to make sure that we can reach outside of the United States. We do not have here in the U.S. a monopoly on talent. We have to go find the best and the brightest wherever they might be. In the wireless industry, it's a prerequisite to be successful. You have to have the capabilities to reach around the globe and build and find the talent that is necessary to drive innovation and to drive expansion of your markets in this space. I've been very fortunate to spend the last 15 years at a company like Qualcomm, who's in the most exciting, fastest growing technology in the entire globe, and that's wireless. And in fact, wireless has transformed into something that we now refer to as mobile computing, because you walk around with a tremendous amount of power in your pocket that you used to think of as just a phone. But now it has the capability and functionality and the power of the laptop you bought 3 years ago. It's just an amazing transformation, and it's been an exciting time in an industry to be involved in. The issues with working in this type of environment, though, are that the stakes are incredibly high. The market changes fast. The competition is fierce. Our mantra is always to run faster and jump higher than the next guy. And so it's a very dynamic and an exciting environment. You have to have a tremendous amount of flexibility. You have to be able to work globally. You need to tap into resources around the globe. You need to be innovative. You constant focus on innovation and partnering. So it's an exciting industry. At the same time, it's very challenging. The courses that you rely on, I tell you, coming out of undergrad, the finance classes, the accounting classes are very practical, both professionally and personally. You'll find you can use things. You can look back on your finance classes when you're buying a home, when you're buying a car. You can do that analysis. You can determine what kind of returns you might get after so many years after an investment. They're very relevant, personally and professionally. But later on, you find that when I went back to get my graduate degree, it was much more about the soft skills. It was much more about communication skills, the leadership. You'd be put in a leadership program in the early 90s, and I was one of the first, we were one of the first classes that graduated with a core. They actually had an emphasis and a concentration in leadership, which at the time was like, what does that mean, right? It's not accounting, it's not marketing, it's not finance. It was those soft skills, and those are probably the most valuable skills that you can graduate with today, is the ability to work cooperatively with classmates, work in a team environment, to be able to communicate and influence and sell your ideas, to be able to present them effectively in your classroom setting or maybe even outside the classroom. Those types of skills are probably the most invaluable in the long run. My advice for today's students or grads would be to take the hard stuff. Go learn the hard stuff. Don't check the box on your course requirements and try and just get through with the degree. Go challenge yourself. Challenge yourself both academically in the classroom. Challenge yourself reaching outside of the classroom. Get involved with a firm, a local firm that maybe is in your field. Go test it. Go test the waters in the industry of your choice that maybe you've always wanted to be in. Stay involved, even if you're volunteering or through internships or just through group projects that maybe that the school might sponsor. Stretch yourself outside the classroom as well, and work on as you're learning the body of knowledge, the blocking and the tackling skills that you learn in undergrad. Don't lose sight of the fact that your professors, the folks in the school of management office, and the community, they want to help. And there's a huge resource that you can tap into of knowledge, of experience, and you have it at your fingertips. Just use it.